Welcome back to our continued coverage of the Superbowl Bye Week Invitational out there in Harrisburg. Round robin play just ended, and we finally got our seedings. It was kind of a log jam.
Not going to say that yet. I'm going to use your word, Peloton.
Yeah, but so it came down to a lot of goal differentials. There were a lot of tiebreakers in there, so I'm going to say maybe too early to call, but anything could really happen going into Sunday. But we all knew, or expected early on, that
the number one seed.
The Pittsburgh Gods are your leaders going in, so they've got the number one seed and the bye in the first round. So let's run down all the teams and kind of where they ended up.
Yeah, so in our logjam or Peloton, we've got actually 2 through 6, which are all at 2-1 in the round robin tournament, in the round robin play, I should say. Leominster coming out number 2, obviously a strong team. Mm-hmm. Number 3, Garden State Warriors, followed up by 4, the Bauer Saints, 5, Phoenixville Graphics, 6, Penn Hills Arsenal. Mm-hmm. And rounding out those who make it is Buffalo Fusion, who came in at 1 and 2. Now, what that means is those guys are moving on to tomorrow, where we have the number 8 and 9 seed, Garden State Indians, and the East Coast Empire, who unfortunately won't be making it to Championship Sunday.
So moving in, let's take a peek at the schedule for Championship Sunday. These are our matchups here. Games kicking off at 8 o'clock. We've got the Bauer Saints versus the Phoenixville Graphics. And then at 9, we've got your number 2 seed there taking on 7, Leominster 74's Buffalo Fusion. And then at 10 o'clock, you've got Garden State, who are kind of on upset watch. And that's at 10 o'clock versus Penn Hills Arsenal. And then, like we said earlier, your leaders in the clubhouse, the Pittsburgh Gods, to be determined as far as their opponent is concerned.
Yeah. So
but we'll be doing a reseeding. So the lowest ranked team to win in those first 3 games on Sunday will play the Pittsburgh Gods.
Yes.
So they're not sure what they're getting into yet.
Exactly. So how it shakes out, though, is that 8 o'clock Eastern time, mm-hmm. and through the 10 o'clock time slot, those are really the quarterfinals. Yeah. So Pittsburgh got the bye. We're going to see how all that works out. The winners obviously advance, but the Pittsburgh Gods are going to take the lowest seed of the winners of the quarterfinals.
Sure. So leading off, we've got the Saints and Graphics, which of the 3 scheduled games, they're the only ones that have, 1, not seen each other in round robin play, and 2, not had a common opponent. So there's a lot of variables that could play into that, to be perfectly honest.
But I think there's a lot of story to tell there. And it's specifically, I think, more with the Bauer Saints over the Graphics, mm-hmm. and their upset loss to Garden State. You saw the vengeance and obviously the mentality to come back from that loss against their game tonight, mm-hmm. against Leominster.
Yeah.
Where they beat the number 2 ranked Leominster 74ers.
Which is huge. So they're capable of just about anything, and we certainly know they're a great team. But Dan Caldwell, not to quote him directly, but he was on the podcast not too far back. He said, they're used to playing from behind. They're used to being the underdog. Exactly. They play for Championship Sunday. They like the money round, and they want to be a hard out. You know? They're not going to be the team that you maybe lose the most sleep over, but they like being the upset.
So we'll see what happens there.
We'll see how that one plays out. And then I don't know if I'm most excited for Leominster and Buffalo there, but they saw each other in round robin play, and it was a defensive battle.
1-0.
1-goal game. Yeah, Leominster coming out the victor there, but so we'll see how those teams adjust, maybe if it continues to be a defensive battle there, low scoring. Or
but I think Leominster has something to prove again, though. Mm-hmm. And we just talked about the Bauer Saints upsetting them or beating them 4-3 tonight. That's not going to sleep well with them.
Yeah.
They're not going to put their heads on their pillow tonight and be like, you know what, we're okay with what just happened.
Yeah.
So I think Leominster is going to come out strong, heavy, and hard. And they now have something to prove.
Yeah, absolutely there. And then Garden State and Penn Hills, another hard-fought battle, another 1-goal game, 3-2, Garden State being the victor there. So that's another rematch. Teams
Friday
that
night.
Maybe can adjust the strategies there, and we'll see if they bring maybe a different style of game. But, I mean, it's going to be another hard-fought battle.
But I think that's a good point, though. Style of game, Garden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
This is only their 3rd tournament ever. They're a brand new franchise. They've won one, second place, and now they're here in contention and putting up some big wins. But who knows a lot about them? They may know the individuals who played on previous teams, but new systems, new players, new combinations. Yeah, they're going to be a huge wild card here.
Definitely tough to plan for a team that is so new and you don't have a lot of time, a lot of experiences to draw off of maybe, and they're evolving too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure every game, every shift, every line is constantly getting their cohesion and figuring things out.
And I think that's the excellent point here, because this game, that 3-2 game, was the second game of the tournament on Friday night. Ben Hills won. But then you saw the 5-2 victory over Bauer Saints that we talked about earlier. So not only is this team unknown, but they're growing every game they play.
Well, we're rooting for them. I like those guys a lot. They're definitely on upset watch. But obviously the gods. I mean, they've got the name for a reason. They're the leaders in the clubhouse. They're maybe
Defending
the most
champions.
feared. They're maybe the most feared team. Yeah, and they got the monkey off the back there with the past victories in the tournament. This was kind of on their hit list, so maybe the pressure's off for them. But they'll certainly be well rested getting the bye. So that might be a good factor there. And they've only given up, like I said, 3 goals in 3 games. So they play that tight defense, and they definitely don't like to give up opportunities.
Yeah, but we'll see what shakes out. Stay logged on to Deck Hockey Focus here. We're going to have live interviews, live coverage. Make sure to check out Twitter. We're going to have all the game updates going all day long tomorrow as we get through Championship Sunday in the Money Round.